Yeah, you're welcome to today's program, uh, My Liberation Gospel. Today's talk is on oil gluttons, Kaduna pipelines, and the constant roasting of Nigerians to death. We'll take it just step by step, but very briefly on the oil gluttons. With many of us who are Nigerians who are watching these programs know that Nigeria's mainstay for foreign exchange is oil, and unfortunately, since the 1970s, since oil was discovered in commercial quantity, there emerged an elite that has been interested only in oil, and oil was the key factor in the Civil War, especially for the North to fight against the Biafrans. They wanted to control oil. Their masters, the Great Britain, was pouring them, backing them, giving them arms. It was said that the arms used against Biafra during this Nigeria-Biafra Civil War surpassed the arms that was used in big-time wars, even in the Second World War. I can't really check the facts, but most of the arms that remained at the end of the Second World War was poured to Nigeria, and they used it to invade Biafra. There was all sorts of massacre. Unfortunately, there was no social media then, so we couldn't really ascertain what happened. But today, many videos are coming up, many pictures of the massacre and the genocide that happened. But we will come at the right time. All these things will be brought to book, including those who were major players in that genocide. Even those who have died, they must be convicted even at their death. So anybody who has done something as grave as killing pregnant women, as killing innocent children, as killing non-combatants in conflict, the person is guilty of human rights abuses. It's a crime against humanity, and the person must come to book. People like Obasanjo, Olusegun Obasanjo, Theophilus Danjuma, even the so-called Black Scorpion, all of them that are dead. That's why they are afraid of the emergence of the Republic of Biafra, because we will look for them and hunt them down. They will not go scot-free. So these are the gluttons of oil, because Nigeria is sustained by the greed for oil. Now I want to bring to your notice, after the Civil War, a lot of things happened. The people of the old Eastern region, their life crashed. Everything about them. There were sole administrators everywhere. There were military administrators. Though there was a policy of no victor, no vanquished that was established, but it was just for the newspaper. It was just for the international community. Even the Red Cross and the international agencies that helped in distributing food aid to dying and starving children of Biafra were sent all packing. Even this country, I was reminding some Irish people. There was a place I was delivering a talk. I was telling them that mainly because the generations currently don't understand the history because of the problems in Nigeria. There's no robust relationship between Ireland and where we come from. In 1968, the Irish missionaries were expelled from Nigeria because they were entrenched through missionary activities and through education approach in the old Eastern region. I'm from Owerri. Many of you may not know. Some do know. Those who are doing missionary work on the Assumpta Cathedral, which is a landmark building, and the Roman Catholic Cathedral in Owerri was started. It was built by Irish missionaries it was really started. The school I attended, St. Peter Clever Seminary, Opala. If you are going to Aba, you know Opala. It's from the Oriental bridge, first bridge. There are 3 bridges before you get to the Oba Junction area. From the first bridge of the Imo River at Opala, and if you look by the right on the hill, you will see St. Peter Clever Seminary. It was built by Irish missionaries. Not only that, if you go to Onitsha, many of the schools, Charles Hill Memorial Junior, most of the secondary schools across. That was why I said yesterday that the Igbos took to education at the early times of colonial administration. That was why they moved atop. When the British colonists left, they had no other choice than to work with those who are conversant with administrative acumen, policy, engineering, and stuff like that. And these things started breeding jealousy and others, which culminated in the genocide and continued hatred against the Igbos in Nigeria. But leaving that by the side, I was talking of the oil gluttons. Nigeria rests on oil. Without oil, I don't think we don't share the same values. Those, especially those in the core north. When I say those in the core north, I mean the Fulanis and their vassal states, the Hausa, their servants. The Hausa, because Hausas are their servants. And unfortunately, they've brainwashed them through their religion, through Islam. So many Hausas don't understand again. They've been impregnating their women, breeding mixtures of Hausa and Fulani. So it's very difficult to remove them. But they are still Hausa Christians. They are still moderate Hausa Muslims who understand that their culture have been brought down, their culture have been thwarted, their ways of life has been eroded, that the Fulani has continued to intimidate them and remove their way of life. But let me continue, because some of you who may not understand my thing, we have hatred against the Fulani. No, we don't. It's just that we hate their lies. We hate how they killed Nigeria. We hate their unpatriotism in Nigeria, because they don't have value for life. They hate Nigeria. They don't want progress in the country. So going to oil gluttons, who owns the major oil blocks in Nigeria? In my lecture yesterday, I was talking about the balkanization or the Igbos living on the fringes of the border. How they divided Igbos. That's why what you are seeing today. From 1970 to today, check how many years it is. From 1970 to 2000, it's 30 years. To 2010, 40 years. Then you attest with me that a lot has happened. That since they have divided our people, many people, the mentality, the new idea they've sold, or they've impacted into some of these Igbos has come to stay. That's why you get to see slaves among us, Esau's among us. They always want to take the crumbs that fall from the table. And that's why you get these oil block owners. Oil, where are these oil found? I heard many of you don't know that the first oil company was established in Owerri. It was in Owerri. Many of you that know about the share camp Owerri. Why is it called share camp? Some of us doesn't really know that. But I remember my father told me the issue of that share camp. It was moved from Owerri to Port Harcourt as a result of the Civil War. But many doesn't know that the first headquarters of oil corporation in Nigeria was in Owerri. It was moved to Port Harcourt as a result of the Civil War. So, and the legacy is there today. We have a large area in Owerri called the Shell Camp. That is a historical landmark of that first settlement for oil exploration in Nigeria. Then we're talking of Niger Delta because there have been calculated attempts to ostracize the core eastern region. I mean, the Igbos, that you don't have oil, you depend on Niger Delta oil. Just the argument always online. I see the argument, but I just laugh at that because most of these people are ignorant. They are just at the mention of the name Biafra. Some of them start having fever and convulsion. Why are they afraid? At the mention of Yahweh, God, truth, you see the devil start shaking. The devil starts shaking. If you've gone to where there is deliverance, or where there a real man of God is praying, calling down the name of God, invoking the Holy Spirit to come in the midst of the brethren, or there's real song of worship, you see any person who is being manipulated by the devil there will start shaking. The person will start shaking. You see, some of them will start convulsing because light and darkness can never mix. Who are the Niger Deltans? Who owns oil in Nigeria? Some of oil, some of the places they found oil, they've put it in strategic reserve. Even and in Anambra State is not a member of the Niger Delta Development Commission, but they have oil. Up Agule Anam area, oil was discovered, and if you search more, there's oil. I told you yesterday I lived in Eboma, a place called Eboma. Behind our quarters where we lived lay pipelines as big, as massive as what I haven't seen before. And you have one pipeline as massive as, and you see as many as 7 to 10 pipelines moving from. Do you know that pipelines were laid after the Civil War to Kaduna? Check the distance from the southeast, south to Kaduna. Pipelines were laid from our area to Kaduna. In the area I called Eboma, there's pipelines everywhere. And then we're small. A lot of people, though it's something that is getting to be common now. I mean, oil bunkering. Sometimes, as a very curious child and very inquisitive as I am, I will go behind, and especially in the midnight, I will be listening. I will be hearing the movement of crude and oil or whatever that is going in there. It's continuous. It's been continuous. Ever since I lived in Eboma and I left there with my parents, it was continuous. From Mmaho to Eboma, to Obiabo location. Those who are from Eboma know these areas I'm talking about. Pipelines was laid. From that area to Port Harcourt, to Warri, from Warri to Kaduna. And you will be asking, why was pipelines, billions spent on laying pipelines from these locations to Kaduna? Now check the distance. I tried to check the distance because I don't know the distance. I was looking at the distance. I saw the calculation, 789.1 kilometers, or about 490 miles of pipelines laid up to Kaduna. And unfortunately, these refineries have been moribund. Nothing. Wasting money that they don't even have, because the money doesn't belong to them, because they are daft to use these resources effectively well. They keep squandering the money. Why building a refinery in Kaduna? Wasting money on pipelines. If Nigeria is workable, and if these guys are real patriotic people, why don't you establish refinery anywhere, just near the source, or even give licenses to people? During the Civil War, Biafran engineers refined crude oil from the source. Guys are doing these things. Men and women are doing this. They refine oil, all these things. Nothing stops Nigeria from giving licenses to make it open. If you know you can refine oil, come and get the license and pay tax to the coffers of the government. But because they are daft, because they are wicked, because they are myopic, because they are unpatriotic, they don't want these policies to be laid down. And we talk about oil that is found in the Niger Delta. Mind you, when we talk about Niger Delta, sorry, I don't have to of this. When we talk about the Niger Delta, some people are sure that the Niger Delta is it doesn't include Igbos. The Igbos are equally involved in the Niger Deltans. I told you about the people of Eboma. Some are in Imo State, while others are in River State. The Ikwere. The Igbos are even in Delta, from Asaba, Ogwashiuku, and the Igbos in Anioma. These are Niger Deltans. So, but the propaganda in Nigeria has always been, you people, you are interested in the Niger Delta oil. And who are the Niger Deltans? I am from the Niger Delta. That is why I said we must begin to educate Nigerians, to tell them the truth. We can only educate them. We can only fire lies, counter lies, and fallacies with truth. That is the only thing that can remedy things. That is the only way they can wake up. And that is the only way we can achieve what we are looking for. And that is bringing Nigeria on its knees. And we getting what we are looking for. Because Nigeria is unworkable. Nigeria cannot work. There is no need pretending and behaving as the criminal senators threw away restructuring, the opportunity to restructure the country. I know it will not work. So there's no need talking about restructuring, because they can never agree. Are we talking of restructuring or continuing this democracy? On what platform? On the 1999 constitution? Is it a constitution? Did we ever gather to talk about a law that will govern that state? Now, before I deviate, who owns the oil blocks? I had to make a research. You and I know that majority of the owners of the oil blocks in Nigeria are northerners. Northerners, especially those who won the Civil War, those who deceived the rest of Nigeria to fight against Biafra to win the Civil War. Today, they are billionaires. Oil blocks worth billions of dollars. They are controlling these oil blocks with their children. They are stupendously rich. And when we talk, you look as if we are just church rats. They'll just look down on you. You can't even afford you can't even afford 3 square meal. You can't even afford a bottle of beer. You can't even afford to dress fine or to go to good school or to have a good life for yourself and for your family. And these people telling us this bullshit are sitting on our money. They got rich by embezzling our commonwealth, and they still insult us on top of it, and they still intimidate us, and they still give us crumbs. When they give us crumbs, we clap for them. We can kill for them. We can maim for them. We take guns to protect them. Then delivering jungle justice to that woman who had to steal in order to eat. Who owned these oil blocks? I had to even go down and get some names, which many of you do know. All these leaders from Babangida and Co. And these are the same people we talk about, we hail, we bow to, we genuflect at when we see them. We talk about the Babangidas. We talk about the Abdul Salam Abubakars, Alhaji Daribe, Danjuma. You know, most of you know Theophilus Danjuma. Danjuma, who killed his boss, the man he was meant to protect. Yesterday, I talked about how Fajri died, being a true soldier, protecting his guest, refusing to let his guest go. And he was killed because of that. But unfortunately, Theophilus Danjuma had to betray his own boss and killed Ironsi. What did Ironsi do? Ironsi was talking about one Nigeria. Ironsi was not even involved in the first coup. Yes, they happened to thank the Igbo, the coup, an Igbo coup. It wasn't an Igbo coup. I said yesterday, Unebe died. He was killed by Nzogu and Co. He was the quartermaster general at that time. And he's an Igbo man. So because they've constantly brought these lies, it was an Igbo coup. The January 1966 coup was an Igbo coup led by Nzogu and Ifajuna. But Nzogu grew up in the north, in Kaduna. The boys he took to Sadwana's house were all northern guys. In fact, he spoke Hausa more than Igbo. But I don't want to dwell on that. Who are the oil gluttons in Nigeria? They own all the oil blocks in Nigeria. The Danjumas, the Alhaji Daribes, the Babangidas, the Abdul Salam Abubakar, the Sani Belus, Abdul Salam's son-in-law, the Muhammadu Gambus, the Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar is talking about restructuring because he wants to be president of Nigeria. He's going about, and you see some of my colleagues, some of my friends, some of my brothers and sisters, they are going about campaigning for Atiku Abubakar because he has the money, because he's throwing money around to them. Atiku is now the new Messiah. Torakin Adamawa. This was an ordinary custom officer. Custom officer. How did it? These are the things Nigerians, it looks as Nigerians are daft. They don't ask questions. Somebody who was a public servant suddenly becoming a multi-millionaire or billionaire, and nobody asks questions. How did you make your money? We sent you there to be a public officer. We employed you to be a public officer. We elected you to go and serve us. How did you manage to get 100 billion naira, 200? That is one thing with some of these Western communities, countries. They're not against you being rich, but you must show your source of wealth. In this country that I domicile, Republic of Ireland, like EFCC, they have what they call the CAB, the Criminal Assets Bureau. They will come after you because we know who is who. You want to tell me that you don't know the criminals in your midst? We know. So nobody just came from the moon. We all know ourselves. You all know how your neighbors got employment, how he started a job, if he was involved in business, if he was making sales or not, the profits, and so fought. How did the Babangidas get their money? We're talking of the gluttons of oil. They are ere oil. The Rewanu Lukmans. Some of you may remember Rewanu Lukman. Rewanu Lukman, in fact, when I was small, every time I kept looking, when I read newspaper, I had to ask my dad, who is this man? That's, for many years, he was the OPEC Secretary General. Rewanu Lukman, a Fulani guy. At the time, I was thinking, is he the only oil expert in Nigeria? Rewanu Lukman. He was Secretary General of OPEC for many years. Every time he was appointed petroleum chief in Nigeria, either petroleum advisor or petroleum minister or something of that sort. But because he belongs to the people who have tagged themselves born to rule, so he will always come back as the only man who knows about Nigeria's petroleum. Unfortunately, he doesn't even have petrol, crude oil in his place. But they are in charge. You guys saw what happened to Kachiku. Kachiku was appointed as group NNPC managing director. Was he not appointed? Then he went to OPEC, got the appointment, Secretary General. How long did he last? Before you know it, they removed him. Now Buhari, a sick man, a man who can't even remember how to formulate policies. I told my friends during the election, I said, Buhari is not going to do anything. And he proved me right. Today, some of them see me and they even they try to hide themselves in shame. Some has apologized and said, after all, Olumo, you were saying the truth. Because these people are wicked. These people are wicked. They just want to run the country down. They are the most unpatriotic Nigerians I have ever seen. They don't mean well for the country. That's why Nigeria is unworkable. Nigeria cannot work. How can Nigeria work when we have these people at the helm of affairs? When these people doesn't want to come down and sit and dialogue, and they say we are now Nigerians. God has destined this country to be together. In fact, it is out of godliness that we came together as Nigerians. We are now brothers and sisters. But they refuse that we should come and sit down and talk about how to move this country forward. So, brothers and sisters, these are the oil gluttons. The Rewanu Lukmans. I don't know if he's alive. Whether he's alive or dead. These are the people. Okay, finally, Kachuku was removed. They brought in their brother, who is now the OPEC Secretary General. He's a Fulani guy. What's his name? Bakindo or so. Mohammed Bakindo. This is their game. This is their game. For how long shall we tolerate this? How long must we be on our knees? Those who think this agitation or this drive to create a Republic of Biafra will be fruitless. How long must we keep quiet? Do you enjoy being a slave in your own father's land? This is why we must help deliver other Nigerians. They are in bondage. They need deliverance. They need deliverance. Ignorance is a disease. Ignorance is being in bondage. So we have to help. This is another corporal work of mercy. You must teach. Ndi Igbo say, my people say, if your brother doesn't know, teach him. Ikuamae ibezia. Since they don't want Ebebere Ugo Ebere, they don't want that brotherly love. They don't want us to sit down and talk about the progress of the country. We have to balkanize the country and go our own because we cannot progress. Many Nigerians are languishing abroad. We're not talking, people who are at home think those living abroad are in Eldorado. No, many Nigerians are languishing abroad. They don't have jobs. They don't even have common stamp, which is the visa. Many of them are stranded. Many of them have died abroad here. They've been buried. A lot of things. And we're not talking of those who are at home. Jobless brothers and sisters. People, many are now not going to school. They've refused to go to school. They will say, is he not a Nasim school? Look at Chike. Chike has his master's. Has he gotten a job? That's why you see the lack of confidence is breeding among our people. Gears are now they are no longer being confident. They are now waiting on a man to give them money to do their hair. You see a young girl who went to school, who is very intelligent, is a graduate, is waiting for somebody to give her hair to braid, give her money to braid her hair. In as much as, yes, a woman is a supporter to a man, and the man is the head of the family according to our tradition, but the woman, the African woman, the Igbo woman, has been the center, the pillar of the family. They are destroying our families by making sure that our people lack jobs. Our people lack the capacity to operate, the fair playing ground to operate. So this is why we must begin to educate these Nigerians. We will say no to the oil gluttons. It's not about bringing one person from Anambra, another person from Imo State, or looking for few of them to empower the Okoro, the Rochas, Okoro Fulanis, them, and his clique, empowering them. Then they will be empowering their own families. When they put on pipe water, we start clapping for them as if they've brought down heaven. We must wake up. It's very important. Whatever it will cost, even if it costs our life. It's not about, some people have said staying abroad. It's not about staying abroad. I come back to Nigeria anytime I want. This has been, those who know me from time immemorial know that I fear nobody. I only fear Yahweh. Nani Chineke kam na atu ojo, ana ma atu mmadu Chineke kere ojo. I only respect people. And if we develop this mentality of fearlessness, because when you are united, the enemy is afraid. But unfortunately, our people will try to bring down ndị nwere ike ịzọpụta anyị. Asị weta dike ka egbuo, weta dike ka egbuo. O ruo ihe ike achọwazie dike. This is why we must begin this campaign. Evangelism of this is not an Nnamdi Kanu affair. Before Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu is like a typical Igbo guy. Iwe na-ewe n'obi. So I don't want you to look at the young man as no. Look at his message. Is he saying the right thing? Then we have to key in and follow the evangelism. Because now is for the future of our children. Yesterday, if you like, send your children to Harvard. If you like, go and born your children in New York and have American citizenship, or bring your wife to deliver in Ireland and have Irish citizenship or anywhere. If things are not fixed, because when we have a good country, when we have a nice country, I get respect. I know for sure that when there's a Republic of Biafra, when you bring the passport at the airport, I get respected. Because only deal with a Biafran citizen and not deal with their citizen. You know, we will respect our people. We will honor our people. We will empower our people. Again, when massive opportunity, businesses, and many, it's a matter of 15, 20 years, the world will stand still. I got no everything. I got no aircraft. No motor, I don't want already. Here need the support. Manando Shin and they are in charge. These criminals that are in charge will not support it. They won't support it because they are devil. These are children of Baal, children of Jezebels. They will never support it. So this is why we must bring down. I bring down the place. These gluttons of oil, they are the people who deserve jungle justice. And many of us don't know that they lay the pipelines from our place to Kaduna. Okay, some of you have traveled to Kaduna. You know the distance to Kaduna. Check it out, the distance. Again, waste. And they waste serious money. Nigeria wastes a lot of money. The other day, how much was discovered? Billions of naira, millions of pounds was discovered, and nobody claimed ownership of it. Nobody claimed ownership of it. Yet people are starving. People don't have money. It looks as if money. This is what we can control and empower our people and circulate among our people everywhere at the OK. Why is America the greatest nation? It's because the majority of Americans are empowered. They have that capital strength. They have that fiscal strength. When majority of the people are empowered, the economy at the OK now drive. People will live happily and with longevity. Yeah, there was this book, Evangeline Ngozi, the longevity, joys and longevity of life. Things like that. When people are happy, so this struggle, we must get this struggle to a logical conclusion so that you mean well for your kids. Then your kids will enjoy that and they will sustain it for their own children and your children's children. These are our prayers. A good parent always pray for the child or for the children to be better than him or her. And that is our prayers. So that now when you have the opportunity to fight for the survival of your kids, you don't do that. Small thing may take a long time because you have refused to get involved in this struggle. So this is why we must begin to campaign. We must begin to educate every Nigerian. We must begin to tell them the truth. We must begin to open their eyes and get video deliver from their bondage. We can't keep quiet. Somebody from Sokoto and now they control the oil. Look at the other day in Bayelsa, an assembly woman on a toilet with bacha. Can you imagine? And I told you, in Eboma, I was there the first time Eboma people started revolting. These people have oil. Oil Juruna, Alaha, very fertile land, but they lack electricity. They lack opportunity to infrastructure until he decide there to take the bull by the horn. Then I just remember what this NDDC, Umpadek, NDDC and co. So brothers and sisters, this struggle is not a selfish struggle. It's not an Nnamdi Kanu struggle. It is a struggle for the future of our children. It is a struggle for the future generation. It is a struggle for the land. The land is angry. Some people died fighting for Biafra. They died, and they died because they wanted us to be okay. So if they can give their life for us to live, who are you to keep your own life sacrosanct? And you don't want to stress yourself. In actual, the shortest cut, the shortest visa, Ija Balaga. It is not El Dorado here. It is not easy abroad here. Ask those who are abroad if they are telling you the truth. Haga working or easy abroad here. It is not easy. There's no place like home. And when resources are shared, when there's welfareism among our people, some of our problems will start coming down because poverty may breed a lot of things. Poverty may breed acrimony. Poverty may breed isoku. Poverty may bring a lot of problems and turbulence. Poverty may breed onwike. Madu ga aga hospital oji ego oji agonwe. If you are hospital, I think the deposit ego before I go there. Can you imagine? But do you blame the doctor? You can't blame the doctor because he has to maintain that his hospital. But here, our system of medical cards, welfare system, if you are not working, you will be collecting money from the government. Like I said before, many Nigerians are here benefiting from the system. They don't work. They don't work. They benefit from the system. They come back home, living large, living big, and you think that they pick dollars on the street or from the airport. No. They are not in here because everybody is just on the same distance, pedestal here. It's just that some of them, they're not telling you the truth. This is why this struggle, we have to do it. Many people want to come back home. There's no place like home. And when you and they develop, now prepare ground for the future of our people. So we can't keep quiet. Few people are now on our resources. Jide oil line, Hajita oil blocks. Now manual in billions of dollars. I cook asani shut up. Na yejiego. I cook asani shut up. Who are you? I cook asani I cook when we talk, they say you are a poor man, you're a church rat. Who are you? Do you know who I am? When they are sitting on our commonwealth and we keep quiet. We cannot keep quiet to this rubbish set of people. Mini na mano doesn't mix. Oil and water can never mix. There's nothing like there's nothing like having the Spirit of God. Things that cannot come together can't come together. It can't come together. I believe in the Bible. I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. The Bible taught me that light and darkness can never mix. It can never mix. And I have seen that on our walk room. It works for me. It can never mix. The children of Baal and children of Yahweh are not the same. Because whatever you do for the children of Baal, it will never satisfy them. They just want to extinguish your life. They will never be satisfied. So that is why light and darkness are not the same. But you know that light is greater than darkness. Wherever there's light, it is noticed. And you now see darkness, agents of darkness will start scheming. Attempting to overpower children of light. They will start painting that the children of light bad names, calling propaganda, saying he's this, saying he's that. And some gullible minds will just take it. That yes, this person is a very bad person. These people are. That is why what they have been doing in Nigeria, painting the Igbos with bad names, giving the Igbos bad names. That these people are we going to die for you people? This and that. No. The Igbos have always represented progress. They want progress. In fact, they love Nigeria more than others. I'm not saying this because I am Igbo, but you and I know that the Igbos are the most patriotic Nigerians. They will go to any place and start from the scratch and build up the place as if it's their land. Because they believe in a proverb that says that wherever one domiciles, that is his home. This is the worldview. It's a simple worldview of the Igbo man. But in Nigeria, they've painted the Igbos as if they are horrible people. Okay, leave them to go now. Leave them to have their own state. You don't want to leave them to have their own state. Leave them to have their own state and watch how things are going to be done. Watch Africa for the first time will start manufacturing aircraft. Watch how products, all this is as if is a big deal. I said it the other day. Scott Mizan, CNN and the international media will be singing it like a cantata as if nobody can do. No, I gave you an instance of Onala. Ono my help Onala, Madon War, Nime village. Abam Onala. Onya Wuro Dogu, Abara Ejibom Onala, and we can hear 21 gun salutes of Onala. And now about where Agri Wachana Nala. When you add physics and technology to that, it becomes missile because it gets set target, it gets set destination, it gets set how many kilometers, the distance. Okay, even that a very simple thing, no. Our people now, every do China and I know okay line one and able now. No guys na know 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds. When you bring these people and bring in technicalities into that, I know she will be. I know machine gun. I know challenge here. I know all distance. I know. But you see, because of the children of Baal that are in government, they have refused to bring in the right policies to make the country progress. So this is why I gauge severe the country. I gauge another one. Whatever it will take, you know, lost or I take I can bring it down. Yeah, the wall of Jericho must fall. Because in our name, unless you want to die being on your knees. Millions have died before. So this struggle, we have a date with destiny. And this generation must achieve it. I get married achieve for the next generation. That is my greatest goal. That this generation will emancipate our people and now prepare ground for a brighter future for the next generation. Then from these pipelines handling to Kaduna, you've seen how Nigerians are being roasted to death because of poverty, because of lack of energy, any place, because all these pipelines handling each other around to Kaduna. Most of them are outdated. Oh no, man, you know that Nigeria lacks the maintenance culture. So most of these pipes have started decaying. You see, plus Ndi Naga oil bunkering. There's leakage. And when there's leakage, people have to go and take this fuel or petrol and sell for money. If they are okay, they won't be doing that. And you know that thousands have died on this Anapoya petroleum pipeline vandalism. Crooks, vandals. Who are the vandals? Take the vandals or those who are looking for a way to have even 2 square meal a day by selling 50 liters or 10 liters or 20 liters. How about that? Kondeji big ne delegani. There are billions. Hashi from Kaduna, Hashi from Kano, Hashi from Sokoto, Bata, Nime, Oweri. Na Eboma, when oil blocks now generate billions of pounds. Anya no na ka una sizari banket. Then hapo some of umunani na nde maha nde ndị Fulani na ndị Hausa tụwara ime oge ọgụ ha bịa impose on us as governors. Anyị echefu gụọ ha aha Igbo na-efirizo na ha nwanne anyị. Then ha gwazi anyị we should not revolt, we should not do this, we should keep being subservient to Aboki na Atagoro, to Aboki na Achinama. People na-enweghị the common faculty drop policies ka edozi obodo. So these are the things, and people have been dying. People have been getting roasted to death. So, brothers and sisters, all you gluttons, we must fight against these people. We must educate our people. Because the rest of Nigerians are many of them are now just that propaganda media, the conventional media in Nigeria, the newspapers, the Punch, the Vanguard, the Guardian, all are these agents of the so they use them. Narco propaganda. Chineke Merebele. We have access to social media now. Our people started waking up on the media aspect of it from the social media because it offers us the freedom. You can broadcast yourself. So we've been building, despite the fact that some of us were children of this bad or their agents. Now they can bring Guyana down. Can bring Guyana down? You know, using devilish agents to bring what we have been building up down. Officer in Dublin here, they invaded it and carted away all our equipment. Carted away all our equipment. Our people, ndị Igbo anyị enweghị ike inyere their people aka. Ha enweghị ike inyere their people aka. Ya dịka ọwụ ihe mere eme, ịhụ nwanne gị gaghị enyere ya aka. A na-asị weta dike ka egbuo, weta dike ka egbuo. Mgbe o ruru n'ihe odogwu ga-eme, mgbe o ruru n'ihe mberede, mgbe o ruru n'ihe ike, achọwazie dike. By then, dike has been killed by ụmụnna. So, brothers and sisters, I get wake up. I get video wake up because we need to empower ourselves. Or ihu onye na-eme nke ọ na-eme ga-eme empower. Oru mgbe ọ ga-esi it, you push it. You need to gwa ya agwa. This struggle is a struggle. It's a generational struggle. My generation anya has succeeded. Gamma know the worst thing. I know the most shameful and idiotic generation on earth. So, man, I get video evangelism. Now, cover under Nigeria because happy international community. Nigerians sit here down. But I hear demand a referendum. Ukanya referendum. Kama that look, we vote. Other than that, if we sit down as Nigerians, we tell them, look, we want to go out of the country. In how I decided, I am informed the international community. The international community will not, they have no role to play except to approve all Nigerians decided. This is why we have a task to educate Nigerians, the rest of Nigerians, because the average Nigerian are tired of the system. But because some of them can be had the blind. Deliver her from bondage. Because on this oil gluttons, Kaduna pipelines, and the constant roasting of Nigerians to death. Most of you are educated. Mana the rest of Nigerians. Let everybody be a missionary on this issue. I need the Nigerians. I need the international community for now. I need the Nigerians to put up this heat because the enemy is afraid. Adehala United. The enemy. Otu akosi dem nono. Yaka chirono. Aham woka chukwu kori. Nwowe.